This meeting is being recorded.
All right, welcome everybody to this edition of Realtor Toolbox series. I am delighted to have Matt Haugh here today. He is going to show us how he has maximized some of the tools in KV Core along with social, married those together, and has created a dynamic book of business. So with that, Matt, I'm going to have you take it away. I'm going to just ask everyone to mute themselves, and I'll try to watch that as well. And with that, thank you, Matt.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for signing on or logging in later, or whatever you're going to watch later, but I appreciate it. Just real quick, I've been with EXP a little over 3 years. It took me about a month and a half to start utilizing the tools that EXP gave me. And one of those ones I decided to use were the squeeze page and landing pages, just because I had watched a podcast, YouTube video of a guy named Joshua Smith in Arizona. And that's how he was getting his leads. He was just taking these squeeze pages and landing pages and posting them on Craigslist and Facebook and other places. And it would generate contacts into a CRM, and those contacts you can follow up with and hopefully get some closed business, or just fill up your database and it's people to market to. And eventually those people can turn into business. So I just adopted that and just kind of ran with it the last few years. And it's I definitely don't regret it. I wouldn't say I've like maximized it or, pierced any like awesome veil of anything, super outrageous. But like I said in the beginning, it's just the consistency of it seems like it helps. So does everybody on the call know what a squeeze page is? Anybody have an idea? Want to chime in? Want a little interactive, anyone? You can unmute yourself and jump in there. What's a squeeze page?
Matt, we're getting a lot of head nods, and also we got a comment in comments. No, they don't know what it is. I don't know if anybody.
All right, cool. So a squeeze page is, I'm sure you've seen it in like advertisements. You click on it, get more information, and then it takes you to another page that you have to put in your email address or phone number in order to get the information. So it's called a squeeze page. It's squeezing your information out of you, the consumer, and into your database. So that's what a squeeze page is. And through KV Core, we're able to generate a few different types of squeeze pages for individual properties. For instance, how you would use that would be as if you had a listing of your own or someone's listing that you wanted to advertise. You would take the MLS number and put it into KV Core, and it would create this link that you could then post on your social media page or in Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, anywhere. And so if someone wanted more information on the teaser that you provided them, they would click on that, and then it would ask for their information. So it's not rocket science. It's just collecting people's information so you can market to them or follow up with them immediately. And so when the squeeze page, when they click it, it goes into your CRM. You can set it up to where you get notified as the agent immediately. And so speed to lead, you call that person and say, hey, I saw that you clicked the link about Summerlin Pool Properties. My name is Matt. How can I help you? Something like that. You can also, if you don't want to call the people, you can also set up campaigns in your KV Core that trigger either a automatic text message, a voicemail drop. It can just start setting them up on a property search alert. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with the squeeze page link that can set off a chain of reactions of other events for you for follow-up, etc. So I hope I didn't just complicate that too much. It's a lot simpler than it is. Cody Lewis and Carrie Phillips just came in. Dave Reichert's in here too, but
what up?
You got a haircut there.
I thought everybody was coming here for this.
No, it's like Zoom mostly.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good.
We're crashing it.
No, we're glad to have you. So where was I? So that is essentially what a squeeze page is. We'll go over landing pages as well. Landing pages, it'll probably be a little bit easier for me to show it to you and explain it that way. So let's start off with the squeeze page. I'm going to do a screen share here. Is my screen being shared right now? Do you see my KV core?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, cool. So in order, this is my KV core dashboard. Actually, yeah, my dashboard. So if you go right here to this icon, all lead generation, lead engine tools, go right here to build a squeeze page. Click that. And so it gives you a few options. You can do multiple property, single property, seller squeeze page, and market report. So we'll concentrate on these two today. So if you had an individual listing, you would build your squeeze page right here. Nobody gave me an MLS number, so we'll just do a multi-property today. So right here, let's create a squeeze page to attract people that are interested in pool properties in Summerlin. Okay. So how we'll do that is we'll go to multi-property, then go here to location. So there's a few different ways you can do it. You can draw on the map, excuse me, or you can just put in the zip codes. I'll probably just do the zip codes for Summerlin, which is 89135. 89134. 89144. The one I always get confused is 89139 or 8? 8. Okay. 38. Am I missing any, Dave?
Yeah, but I don't know them all.
There's only a few. I don't want to miss any. Why is 89138 not coming up? You guys see how it has to auto? There he goes. It was just slow. 89. All right. If anybody can think of any I'm missing, just unmute yourself and tell me. But I think that's most of them. Then listing type. We'll just want to go. Why is it not single family? Single family right here. Style, don't worry about that. Price range. Let's go Summerlin pool properties under 800,000. And you can also do square footage and things like that. When you're just doing like a general squeeze page for like an area, you probably don't want to limit it to these. Actually, let's just take that price tag off too. Just put all the fat daddy houses in there. But let's say you're trying to do a squeeze page for like larger acreage properties by Lone Mountain area. So you could do a map search here, and then you can change the acreage here. So you can drill down pretty close or pretty minute, but not obviously as well as you can on the MLS. So you can also change some of this stuff down here. This is where you're going to want to pick up the pool part. It's down in that drop down menu. Didn't seem like it grabbed it though. All right. Because there's nowhere else in here to find that pool. So you'd have to do it right in the options section. But as you can see, it's kind of limited. It doesn't give you a ton of things to really work with. But one idea for a squeeze page is everybody hates HOAs. So you could do, Las Vegas pool properties without HOAs or something like that. That would be a good one to do. Yeah. Or I don't think there's RV parking, but you can do, single story homes all in Nevada, things like that. So that's how you do that. Right here, the source. So if you're going to post this link in Facebook, you want to know when it comes into your CRM where it came from. So you'll just go Facebook right there. So hashtags are pretty important because that's how it's going to help you, one, know where the lead came from. And then if it's hashtagged properly, when it comes into your CRM, it should, not always, but it should set up that new lead on an automatic email campaign of properties, and it'll do it off the hashtags that you did. So if I had all the zip code hashtags in there, if I had pool in there, it should set the people up on a search with those with that criteria. So let's go ahead and try it here. You have to do each one individually with a comma. So now you have to pick it up. You have to do the exact same thing over there. The thing is, though, is when you create these links and you save them, they're good forever. It's not like every time you do this, you have to come in and reinvent the wheel on these. So if you take the time up front pool. And I think that's probably about it. So this right here, this is where you set your trap, the mouse trap. If you want them to, as soon as they click the link, it'll pop up a square box or whatever for you to register. You could tease them a little bit and do 2 or 3 so they click a few pictures and then all of a sudden they're frustrated. I figured just ask them right up front for their information. So that's what I do. And so now you go here, generate link, and it'll give you 2 different links here. This is the long link. You don't really want to use that. You'll want to use this short link right here. You just simply go copy to clipboard. Bam. So you have that. So now what do you do with this thing?
Yeah.
What do you do with this thing? All right. That is the $1 million question. Let's do 2 things. Let's take this link and we'll put it in a landing page. And I'll show you what a landing page is right now.
Right there. First one down. Right there.
I'm afraid it's gonna take me. Okay, good. I was afraid it was gonna lose my screen there. All right, cool. So now this takes you to your very own landing page that you can edit. So right here, you can go right in there and put all. And all this is editable as well. Into anything. So you can change all this stuff. It's editable, whatever you want to do. And right here in the corner, there's different formats for this landing page. So it's lead generation. You could add video to it. You can, I'm not sure what that content hijack is. It sounds awesome. I should look into it. But you can also create text campaigns through this as well. But Lacey made it sound like I'm like a fine-tuned like race car driver with all this stuff. To be honest with you, I'm probably only using like 5% of its whole capability, and I found success. So you guys, if you just apply yourself a little bit and learn a little bit about this stuff via either this Zoom or YouTube videos, and then just stay consistent with it, you can do some pretty awesome stuff. All right, so here on the hashtags, you'll want to put the same hashtags that you did. This one's different. It doesn't do the drop down. You just do a comma. What am I missing? 3, 4. This right here, if you put get C list, that's what the button will say. Then that right here, I cut and paste that URL from this page right here. That's the link that we created. Now we can take this link and put it right here. So now when someone comes and they click that link, it's going to take them to this page first, and you can put descriptions on here. You can put your bio, whatever you want. You can just whatever you think is going to grab people's attention on here. You can edit some of this stuff. All right. You can even change the background picture here if you want to. That's the buyer. If you want to change the background to a kitchen. That. So whatever you, I don't think they have a fixer upper. That would be cool. They should have like a really like tore up looking house, and then you can do like a fixer upper list. But let me see, maybe they do. Renovation. Let's see what that one looks like. Ah, there you go. That would not go well with the Summerlin pool property. Yeah. But no, I mean, they really thought this stuff out. I mean, that's pretty awesome that you're able. I didn't realize that they had this many choices. So even if you're okay, so an open house. So if you wanted to do a list of all open houses coming up. I don't know why you'd want to, but that would be one of the things. You could create a list from your KV core, get your list of all the open houses. So I guess that probably wouldn't be bad. Anybody that's going to open houses are probably interested in buying a house, right? Maybe they don't have an agent, so that might be something to consider. So just get creative with this stuff. I'll be honest with you, I don't really use landing pages because I just mostly advertise individual properties, and so my link takes them right to the squeeze page. They get their information and then access to the property's information. But I was thinking about going back and doing these group like area advertisements for either like the Home at Last program, fixer upper properties. You can do maybe even fourplexes and duplexes. I don't know, because you can get a link for multifamily. But as you know, all those are in bad neighborhoods, and there's probably like 4 of them available right now. So you probably won't get very much business from that. All right, so let me go back to more. All right, so now that you have this, you want to save it and read this. It says, warning, you will not be able to save or edit this page. So once I'm done with this, it's like this link is only good for what's saved on this page. So if I needed to adjust anything, I would have to resave this and do it all. So just keep that in mind. And you can't come back and find this link. So one of the things that when I do these landing pages is I always save the link right here. So copy, and then I save all like the links that I've been doing for the last year and a half, or no, I guess since I've been tracking these, this is probably from a year and a half. So I've done 1,412 of these squeeze pages, but this one will be a little bit different because this is actually a landing pages for pool properties. So I'm going to put this up here so I can maybe come back to it and save it later.
They say you become an expert when you've done your 10,000.
10,000th, I'm almost there.
Yeah, so you're getting there.
But you want, like I said, you want to save this so you don't have to recreate it all the time. So anytime you're doing a new advertisement or whatever, you just take this link, save it, and post it into whatever advertisement you're doing. So, all right, let's go back to. So, Dave, do you have a listing, or throw me an MLS number or something? That's decent.
11. Dude,
Does anybody in the group have a listing right now that they would like to do a squeeze page for, or an area?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you able to create squeeze pages for like pre-solds or homes that are being built? I have a couple listings that are coming up, but they're going to be construction and they're pre-solds, and I have builders that are willing to like customize designs. Am I able to do something like that for those?
You could do that. So what I would do on that is, because they're probably not on if they're on the MLS and they have an MLS number, you can create a squeeze page for each individual one. On something like that, what I would probably do is I would go to landing page, and I would put, all your, hang on, am I still sharing the screen? I want to make sure. Okay, so
Yeah.
thank you. So I would just create all your information here, like all your sizzle reel, like what you're describing, and get them interested in, the list of pre-built homes, and get in before everybody else does, get on the waiting list thing. And I would just use this to capture the leads. You don't have to put an after your URL in there. So what you can do is have them give you their information, and then it'll go into your CRM, and then you can follow up with them and either send them the list manually or just talk to them more about it. But I don't think, unless it's not, if it's on the MLS, you can create an exact squeeze page for it. But if it's not, then you probably want to do more of this landing page to create maybe a list of interest. Did that answer your question or make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And then could we
Okay.
do like our listings that are under contract as well to just advertise like that we have business just to kind of market ourselves a little bit?
I don't think so, because the link wouldn't be active. Anytime I post an MLS number or a property, as soon as it goes under contract, that link, when the people click on it, it'll just say this listing is no longer available. If you still want, more information on another property, then they can put their information on there, but it won't even, it'll show them that. And so most people aren't going to put their information in at that point because the property they're interested in is no longer available. So yeah, so if it's already under contract, you wouldn't be able to create that link for it.
Okay.
And I'm not sure of the rules on advertising your listing if it's already been sold.
You can do
Okay.
like a track record page on your actual page when you edit, but that's a
Okay.
different thing.
Yeah, I was just thinking maybe for like to like kind of demonstrate, successful closings and what we're doing for our sellers and how we can, get over asking price offers and stuff just to make it look like, we're just a little bit more appealing than maybe other companies, or I'm not sure, but just a thought. Thank you.
Yeah, no, all good thoughts. Great question. Thank you. Were there any other questions or thoughts or things that you guys want help with on regarding this stuff?
Let's do one.
All right. So we have this listing that Dave brought to us. It's 6882 Mojave Sage. So we'll go to single property right here. Just confirming I'm still screen sharing. Yep. All right. So you'll put the listing ID right here. 236. And then it'll auto populate. There we go. So what is this? I'm trying to see what.
What do you need to know?
I don't know. What's the zip code on this thing? 89148. We'll put that in.
Right here. I'm touring this tomorrow, so don't sell it yet.
Oh. So there's a lot less information you have to put in when it comes to just a single property squeeze page. It just really needs the listing, the source of where you're going to post it, any hashtags, and then your default, and then you can generate your link right there. That's simple. And just copy right there. And so Dave could go to his Facebook page and create a little blurb about it, post a few pictures of the house, and I'll share a story with you. Actually, it was probably like 2.5 years ago. I just started doing this, and Joe D had put a listing up that afternoon, and I went to him. I said, "Dude, like you need to put a squeeze page on there." And so he created I showed him right there, did a squeeze page, put it on his link, and he was at dinner that night, and he got a lead in a CRM, and he called it, and it was somebody that had seen it on his Facebook page and sent it to a friend. And so like it worked. Like he didn't sell that house, but he got a client out of it. I think he ended up selling her some other house. But the thing is, just like most real estate agents, you think Joe did it again? No, he didn't. So it's the consistency of it, man. If Joe would, and he doesn't even do his own Facebook stuff. Lori does it.
Not here, huh, Matt?
So, well, this is on video now. I love Joe. I'm just saying. But no, so that's the thing. They do work, and it only takes, as you saw, just for a single property, it doesn't take very much. So if you are posting, you just got a listing, you're all excited about it, I would create the link there and just say, hey, for more information, click it. And obviously there's people that are friends and, friends of friends probably. But if you take that same link and you post it on Facebook Marketplace, well, now you just opened it up to everything, right? And that doesn't cost you anything. So it's free marketing. You post your listing or whatever listing on Facebook Marketplace with a description, the pictures. If you post someone else's listing, you just got to give them credit for it. Make sure that people realize it's for sale and not rent. There's just a lot of things. Even when you post your own, just make sure, because I don't know why some Facebook people are just, not very smart. They'll reach out to you all the time when you have a property up for sale and it's obvious, and ask you if it's for rent. So put that in the ad, make sure it's in there. And then if you're using somebody else's listing, to say courtesy listing of, put that in there. But yeah, it's free advertising. Another thing that you can do outside of Facebook Marketplace, there's Facebook groups, right? What are some of the Facebook groups? Like most of them are real estate related or garage sales. Most people that are doing garage sale stuff are probably selling or buying, right? So you post it in there. It doesn't cost you a thing, right? So if you're consistent with it, you'll start creating a brand too around it. A lot of people see my stuff and they're like, oh, I see your properties all over. Well, they're not mine. They're other people's listings. I'm just advertising. But whatever, they're clicking on my stuff. I'm getting business from it, and it's working. So I would just say pick something and be consistent with it.
Do you have one handy that shows what the people see on the other end when you post the squeeze page? If you don't have one, that's fine. But like,
preview it, right?
Yeah, let me see what I can find here. All right, we'll go to this one. Let's go to screen share. You go back to screen share, guys. All right, you guys see my screen, my Facebook page? So this is like the ad for this property.
okay.
It just gives the description that was in the MLS, my contact information, all the details of the property. Then I have some other stuff. People are able to, click appointments with me. You know what? This one, let's find another one. That one didn't have a squeeze page link. Sometimes too, the MLS number and won't populate a squeeze page, and it's been happening more and more. So I don't know if there's a setting when the listing agent's putting it in, if they don't make it,
Like
a certain
shareable
public,
or
yeah,
whatever.
shareable or. So yeah, lately I've been getting a lot of ones that don't have the link, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. Let me find one that I know has a link on it. So these are all messages right here that I'm scrolling down. These are all people that reach out and are asking like, hey, is this available? Yeah, I mean, I just scrolled down a ton. That was from a week. All right, so this property probably isn't available anymore. But this is the ad. They all look kind of the same, just all this stuff changes. So here's the link. So complete details and location. You click on that link and
Not taking them to your KV core.
that's taken to my KV core. But since this property is a week old and is not total crap, it's actually under contract because nothing stays longer than a week. So this is what people would see on their end if they clicked it. So they can still put their information in and ask me a question or whatever, but rarely does that happen if the property is already offline. If it wasn't offline, then they would click on it and they'd have all the information there. So let me see.
I got a call today about my duplex. Remember that? So they can still plug in and send a question and get in touch with me.
Oh, okay.
I just can't get that house.
Oh yeah, Dave last week, he used a squeeze page for a fourplex that he had, and he actually got a lead from it today.
Yeah.
So Dave, is that the last time you're going to do it?
Yes, of course.
Awesome.
I didn't even remember doing it.
Smart guys in this.
Yes. I'm telling you, real estate agents, they figure out what works and stop doing it. So I had to pay someone in the Philippines to keep me consistent. So that's probably the only reason why, in all honesty. All right.
Sometimes it's better not to be totally honest.
That's all right. I don't care. Be totally candid. All right. So let's see. Do you guys have any questions? Insight, thoughts? Nobody, I can't see the chat, so Lacey, let me know.
Yep, there's just been a little bit of chat about just a few basic questions about creating squeeze pages. Yes, squeeze pages are created in KV Core. From there, you then post them on Facebook. So we just kind of were going over that in chat. But just to reiterate what Matt has shared today, he shared how to create a squeeze page. He's shared how to create landing pages. Those are tools all within KV Core. And then you take those links that you create and you can post those anywhere. You can post them in an email blast. You can post it on social, which is Matt's magic tool to do, post on social. You can take that link and post it anywhere, share it, you could text it. So there's lots of things that you could do to share the squeeze pages, the landing pages. It's a great tool. If you want to get a little bit more in depth and practice some of those, there's also some recordings in our KV Killa about how to do some of those squeeze pages and landing pages as well. And we've got another question really quick from Dave. Can you create squeeze pages to get buyers or future sellers? Matt, you want to take that one?
It's funny that I guess you can. If we go back here, let me go back to screen share. So if you go back to building a squeeze page, you can go seller squeeze page right here. So this would be like if you get your market report. This is what you would create with that. I've never used them, but I guess you could do the same thing, you know, put it on Facebook or anything like that. One thing I do want to share with you that I actually found pretty helpful. I was doing a open house once, and it was in the Lone Mountain area. So there's a lot of high-end homes, half-acre properties, you know, over, you know, most of them are over 800,000 in this area. And so I was doing an open house there. So I came into my KV Core. And I just did the zip code of the area. Actually, I might have did a map search. But anyways, I created a whole link of, I think I called it Lone Mountain Estate Homes under $2 million or something like that. And so when people came through the open house, I had this link that I was able to text to them, say, oh, hey, you know, do you want a list of, you know, all the homes in the area that are, you know, that are similar. And so then you're able to give them that link. I actually, right while they were there, I thought it was pretty helpful. I got their number and I texted it right to them. So then they click on it, then I get all their information. But even right there, I had their phone number. So you can do that. You can do that do the same thing if you're, sometimes what I'll do if I have somebody, let's say in Messenger, ask me if a property is available, it's no longer available, I will ask them if they want a list of similar homes and they'll say yes. And so then I will go into the KV Core system here and just create a quick squeeze page, and then I'll send it to them, and then they have to opt in to get the information. And actually what I do on that, so I can track it on the source or on the hashtag, I put fishing, because I kind of like it casts a net out there to get them. But I try to track that stuff too, of all the people that I try to get to click through Messenger, because a lot of people will be on, stop sharing here, sorry. So a lot of people will be online and they'll click and they want the information right away. And if it's, instead of clicking the link, they'll go in Messenger and ask about it. And so I'm not always on Messenger to react to them. And a lot of times when I'm interacting with people on Messenger, I don't get their email and phone number. So I'm always trying to get them to opt into my website, you know, because I've talked to people through Messenger for like a week and a half, and this is a waste of time. But if I can get them, you know, to get their information into my CRM, then I can follow up with them later. Because you saw how long my Messenger list was. Like I can't like follow up and try to, you know, get those people into my CRM. So it's always trying to get that link in front of them, kind of like a bait to get them so I can follow up with them later.
Excellent, Matt. We've got one last question. Can you add a QR code onto your landing page? I am not sure if you can add an additional element onto a landing page. I'd have to look at that again. But also my question would be, I think this was Tiffany who asked it. Tiffany, I'm not sure where you would want to lead them away from the landing page. Landing page is going to go into your database and get them to log in or like register, and then you capture their information. The QR code would take them elsewhere. So I'm not sure if you would
Dave
want-
has a comment here.
I do. What she could do is create the landing page short link and then create a QR code, because what she's probably trying to do is maybe print a brochure or something, or put that out there somewhere. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can create a QR code with any website link.
So it would go to the landing page.
Correct. So I don't think you can put it on your KV Core, but you can take that link and create a QR code from your KV Core.
Which will put it back in KV.
Which would, yes.
Okay, a loop.
Complete the loop.
Complete the loop.
Awesome, thank you.
There's texting stuff too that KV Core has. Like I said, I'm using maybe 5 to 10% of its whole capabilities. So you can also do market reports on here too. So that's another, let me go back to screen share here. All right, back to the screen. So right here too, you can go to market report, and that's another landing page or squeeze page that you can create. You know, get the updated market report for Summerlin or Aliante or Sun City, and be specific on there, and then that link will make them opt into your website, and then provide them with that market report. So it's pretty cool stuff. We're paying for it. You might as well use it.
Exactly. All right, Matt, thank you so much for showing us all of this today. We will have a recording for everybody if you want to go through it yourself. This is pure gold. I know, Matt, you keep on saying, I'm only using a small percentage, but you're using a very important piece of it. You do it consistently, and you have a big book to show for it. Just even all those messages in your social. You have so much going on. So congrats to you. Thank you for opening up the curtain here and letting us see what you're doing on the inside. We really appreciate it. And with that, I'm going to close this session of Realtor Toolbox, and thank you everybody for coming on.